Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam Wolf, and in this video we've got Borderlands 4 gameplay deep dive. I've been waiting for this. I completely forgot about it because they announced it months ago, and we're finally here. We're finally getting a little bit more in-depth look at Borderlands. Now here's the thing, a lot of people are just like, oh, it's just more Borderlands, it's just more Borderlands. I'm constantly repeating the same mantra over and over again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, I like Borderlands. I want more Borderlands. So why would they stop doing Borderlands the way that they've always done it? It works because there are fiends like myself and many other people who just want more Borderlands. And I'm really excited for this one. I believe it's on Unreal Engine 5 this time around, which is good. It's always been on Unreal Engine. It's always looked really good on Unreal Engine, and you could take Borderlands 1 and bring it up to like 4K, which, you know, I think they have with the, it was the Game of the Year edition or whatever the heck that was. And it still will look good because it's that cartoony aesthetic. The cell shading really kind of, it scales really well. This one just looks, hopefully from what we've seen so far, it's more bombastic. It's more just up there, and hopefully the writing is better. Okay, you know, Borderlands 3, I haven't played through it yet, but after what I found out, what they did with the original voice actor for Claptrap, and you know, I've heard some of the dialogue from later on in the game. It's not great. I'm not very happy about it, but the gameplay was still a lot of fun of what I did play. So very excited for Borderlands 4. Hopefully I can get to beating Borderlands 3 before this one comes out. And hopefully they have actually a release date here. I don't know if they showed one before because they didn't really show us anything in terms of gameplay, but let's get into it. Mature, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares about mature. Okay, this says state of play, but
what use is a vault hunter?
This was not in the state of play.
Use is a killer. A brute. A rule-breaking, loot-taking, running, and
oh, that's my guy right there.
disaster.
I'm always the tanky dude, or at least try to be.
Mayhem. I take that personally.
Nice. The art style just never gets old. Dude, that's insane. They got miniguns at least. And of course, more guns than you know what to do with. The visuals just look really good though. You know, it's crazy. Back in the day when, you know, Borderlands, people knew that it was, you know, they had, I think Borderlands 1 had some swearing in it, but, you know, obviously for marketing purposes back in 2007, 2009, I can't remember which one of those years it came out. It was PS3 360. So, when it came out, I believe it's 2007, they couldn't, you know, put swear words in the marketing because it was still being shown in game stores and stuff like that. These days you can get away with it because a lot of the stuff that people look into is online, and well, pretty much there's no holds barred online. So which I'm okay with. I love that. They were just like blow shit up. And I was like, all right, yeah, let's lean into it here. You're a mature rated game. Let's act like it. Little Akira reference there with that motorcycle. These are wild boss designs. I also love the fact that they've not really changed the logo very much. It's pretty much been the same the whole way through, because when you see it, you know what you're looking at. You know what it is. And this was released 4 hours ago, so there's the guy.
Founder of Gearbox Entertainment. Today, we're giving you our deepest look yet at Borderlands 4. All the excitement, loot, and gnarly carnage all running on PlayStation 5 Pro.
Just to put it out there, Randy Pitchford is a weirdo. But he's good at running the studio, at least. He knows what people want. He at least keeps producing good games, so. But he's a weirdo.
Since creating the looter-shooter genre nearly 16 years ago, we've continued to refine the formula, delivering better loot, greater freedom, and endless mayhem. And with Borderlands 4, we push things even further.
This is hands down our best Borderlands.
Yeah, 2009 then, because he said nearly 16 years ago.
Bigger and badder enemies, and a brand new planet, all in service of making you feel like a total badass.
It's the perfect entry point for new players, with incredible new places and a great story. And for our...
Ooh, he said great story. That remains to be seen, sir. Borderlands 3 wasn't so great, was it? Gameplay-wise, it's probably fine. I liked it, but story-wise, not so good.
Longtime Borderlands fans, we're throwing back to our more grounded tone while pushing gameplay ahead further than ever before. This is the culmination of years of hard work from my teammates across the Gearbox Studios. So enough talk, let's get it. This is Borderlands 4.
Let's see, Borderlands 3 came out in 2019, so yeah, it's been 6 years. That's a good amount of time to produce a video game. I would prefer more studios to take that amount of time, if not more, if they need it.
Borderlands is an unforgiving sci-fi universe where life is cheap and guns are plentiful. You play as a vault hunter, a badass mercenary.
Wait. So they have a good-looking chick in their game? Then they've got that one. Though she looks kind of badass, though, I'm not going to lie. Like the cybernetic and whatnot, she looks pretty dope. But then they got this really hot Asian chick? I don't know. I can't tell.
With powerful abilities called action.
I'm being that guy, though.
Today I'm playing as Vex.
Look at her. Wow.
She wields
so she's the siren. Look at this, dude.
Effect.
Damn. I actually wouldn't mind being her. She's purple. Like, I like purple. Purple is my favorite color. And she's just covered in purple.
She can use that energy
Plus
to
sirens are cool.
Herself, or channel it to conjure deadly minions that fight alongside her.
And because everything's better in co-op, I'm joining as Rafa, a former TDR soldier who wears an experimental exosuit.
So he's the soldier.
He can digistruct an arsenal of weapons, like the razor-sharp arc knives.
That's the other thing, too, is that they've never actually changed the classes either. There's always been this same 4 classes. Well, sort of. I mean, they've been variations, but there's always been a variation of the soldier, of the berserker, of the siren. You know, they're trying to keep it uniform, essentially. I know in Borderlands 3, the classes were quite different, but essentially the idea was the same.
These are 2 of our 4 new Vault Hunters that you can play at launch.
Borderlands 4 takes place on Kairos, an all-new planet steeped in conflict. For thousands of years, the Timekeeper kept the planet hidden, controlling its inhabitants.
Bring back Handsome Jack.
Cybernetic implants fused to their spines.
Best character in the entire series.
Anyone who stepped out of line was brutally crushed by his army of synthetic soldiers known as the Order.
And I don't know if you guys ever played Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Awesome. It's so good. I haven't finished it yet, but like, man, Jeremy and I got so far in and then he just stopped playing. So I decided to restart, but it is so good. That one's one of the better ones. Assault on Dragon's Keep was just I finished that one, but it was like a small game. So I finished it pretty quickly. Also pretty decent. Nothing really to write home about, but like the writing in Tiny Tina's Wonderlands was so good.
That is until 6 years ago when Elpis showed up. This rogue moon was teleported away from Pandora at the end of Borderlands 3 by the legendary Vault Hunter Lilith.
Lilith.
When it reappeared across the galaxy, it crashed.
I didn't see that part. Obviously, I haven't finished Borderlands 3 yet.
The results were devastating. A planet-wide cataclysmic event that disrupted the Timekeeper's perfect order.
Now people all across Kairos have started rising up. some even ripping out their bolts. And chunks of their brain along with it.
Here it comes!
That's the situation our Vault Hunters have crash landed into. A planet ready to explode, and you're the spark. As you explore, you'll meet a cast of incredible characters. Fan favorites return.
I think I remember her. Yeah, Moxie, of course.
You'll also meet new friends like Rush.
And as always, Claptrap is along for the ride.
Last but not least is Echo 4. This helpful drone follows you everywhere, hacking order tech, scanning the environment, and helping guide you to objectives. But enough of all that. Let's get into the game.
Thanks to our improved lobby system, it's easier than ever to join up with your friends on the fly.
Good.
And with full crossplay at launch...
I mean, to be fair, I never really had any issues joining up with my friends in Borderlands, so I'm not entirely sure what happened in Borderlands 3 that was so bad. Genuinely, like, I don't know if I've ever had any issues, so I'm not sure what they're talking about, but I mean, as long as it's good, I guess it doesn't matter.
You can play with your friends on any platform.
Crossplay's good. Co-op games should be the only games that have crossplay.
We're venturing into Terminus Range, a frigid, mountainous region.
This is just one of the 4 zones on Kairos that you can...
If you're going to have crossplay in a PvP game, it should be consoles only crossplay.
Just endless looting and shooting mayhem.
For our current mission, we need to break into a secret black site located deep in the mountains. One of the Timekeeper's generals, Vile Lichter, has been conducting grotesque experiments on locals. It's up to us to stop it.
All right, let's get moving. Here I'm using Glide, one of our new movement abilities.
For everybody?
Along with dash, double jump, climbing, and point grapple, these make getting around more fun and add a ton of utility to combat.
Yeah, that's not bad because, I mean, I'm telling you right now, going back to the original Borderlands, it's a little rough. It's a little rough. I mean, Borderlands, pretty much since Borderlands 1, there haven't really been a whole lot of, like, you know, movement options, so to speak. Sorry about that. That was a train again. You might still hear it in the background, the rails and stuff, but at least it's not blowing its horn. Anyway, you know, Borderlands 1 through Tiny Tina's Wonderland, essentially, movement has always been pretty grounded, essentially, you know, I keep saying essentially. It's been pretty grounded, but it's nice to see that they're adding some movement mechanics like grappling hooks and climbing and all this other stuff.
As you traverse, you'll uncover a vast and beautiful world. And to bring Kairos to life, we've introduced dynamic weather and events, so you constantly have new things to discover.
There's also plenty of local wildlife to contend with, like these Kratch, flying beasts who attack in flocks.
I hate flying enemies. They're so annoying.
Here we've come across a silo, one of several new activities in Borderlands 4.
I like the UI.
Discover short gameplay experiences like this all across Cairo.
The UI is really clean. Also, I like the addition of that little wheel in the bottom right, showing. I'm covering up the health bar and stuff in the bottom left, but that's okay. But in the bottom right, they show which weapons are in what slots. That's actually really nice.
There's no need to pick up a mission first. These are auto-granted and tracked on your HUD.
Nice.
Silos house old, decommissioned order tech that you can hijack for the Crimson Resistance.
With the help of Echo 4, we'll hack into their network and release the communications balloon.
Not much of a balloon.
Now that we're in charge, we can fast travel to the silo. And as a bonus, it's revealed the approximate location of a vault key fragment. We can collect these fragments to unlock a hidden vault, a high-level dungeon with challenging combat and serious loot.
Let's get after it.
Imagine they had to re-record the gameplay footage, but on the Xbox when they, you know, obviously have to show the Xbox. No fall damage.
Another nice thing about silos is you can zip line up and take off.
Has Borderlands ever had fall damage? I honestly can't remember. I could have swore it did, but now they've got launch balloons. What is this, an extraction shooter or
and if that's
battle
not
royale?
Fast enough for you, you can always
That's
pull
a
out
pop
your
in.
personal vehicle, the Digirunner.
Nice.
Just hop on, hit boost, and get rolling.
That's sick.
You can customize the body, paint job, and even how it handles.
They took some inspiration from Destiny, for sure, with that one.
And because this is Borderlands, you best believe it has guns.
As you traverse, you'll encounter a host of dynamic events. From order patrols to world bosses, there's always something to shoot and loot.
Man, she's looking cooler every single time, dude. Like, she's not only purple, she's got wings and shit. She's also, her
Coming
bike
up on
looks
an order
sick, too.
outpost. Let's see the new movement abilities in action.
Yeah, here we go. The floating is definitely going to be a
Bringing
big,
our new traversal abilities
or the glide,
together
excuse me.
makes combat more dynamic than ever. You can dash in and out of
It's gonna
melee
be very,
attacks,
useful.
dodge projectiles, or quickly reposition to gain an advantage.
Remember, kids, always go with corrosive. It's the best element in the game, in my opinion. It pretty much kills everything. When it comes to Borderlands, anyway, I've always gone with corrosive. The sliding is really good.
Now, I know that there's a vault fragment around here somewhere, but we've got a mission to get back to. Let's pull out Echo 4 to show us where to go.
I've always liked the fact that
We're
they've done
meeting up
those,
with none other than Tigra Partali herself,
what, the golden
Amara.
keys or something like that,
She's a former vault hunter and exotic pet sitter from Borderlands.
that they give out for free, and you get some really ridiculous loot.
And is now helping us take down the Timekeeper.
I'm hoping that they continue with that and they don't try and monetize the game too much.
We'll play in a moment, huh?
But they might, you know, we'll have to
Pet sit for a few
just
weeks, and
assume
the
that they
next thing you
will
know,
do
you're
that.
having full conversations with animals.
You don't use security like that unless you've got something to hide. This must be the path to the black side.
Agreed. But if Lilith is on the other side, I don't mind some property
Mara, yeah,
destruction.
she's from 3, I think, right?
Ooh, your specialty. Please, be my guest.
Yep.
Come, let's throw some light on this black site of his. This place is crawling with creeps. Clear them out.
Co-op has always been at the heart of Borderlands, and we
Obviously.
put a ton of work into making it better than ever. Our improved lobby was just the start. You can also set your own campaign difficulty independently of the rest of the party. This
No.
way, everyone can tune the experience to their liking.
And you don't have to
Wow.
worry about looting and just stealing your drops, as loot is always instanced for each player. Plus,
Right.
if you ever
I
get
think-
split up,
I think that's always been the case, though, with Borderlands, is that each player gets their own stuff, so...
you can easily fast travel to your friends.
And two-player
Nice.
split screen returns so you can enjoy couch co-op. Regardless
Nice.
of how you play, we just want you to be able to hang with your buddies and have a great time.
Dude, that difficulty scaling based on what you want is really good. That's really good. So if you don't want too much of a challenge, I don't know how they did that though. Cuz you're in the same instance, you're seeing the same enemies, but they can be harder for one person and easier for another. I don't know how you balance that.
What the hell is that?
I was just going to say that. The glide mechanic is really cool. The abilities are cool, man. I hope this game has
Everyone
HDR.
else heard the talking creep, right?
Tim feels like the product of Lictor's twisted mind, another of his experiments. If he's doing this to creeps, I shudder to think what he's doing to Lilith. We need to get inside.
because I've always, or I have been saying a lot lately, while ray tracing was a really cool idea at the beginning, it just is not ever like, it's rarely, I shouldn't say never, but it's rarely implemented properly, and it just doesn't look good half the time. HDR is one thing that, like, yes, there are some games that have done it poorly, but it is probably one of the best changes you could actually have to a video game, because especially with a game like this, where there's a lot of neon colors and lights and stuff, HDR could make this so good looking.
That air vent. Let's check it out.
Or even better looking.
Hermes is really creeped out in here. Not me, obviously. Hermes.
Now that we're in the black site, let's take a moment to talk about loot.
Nice
In Borderlands
interface.
4, each piece of gear comes from one of...
Oh my God, you can see the aliasing on her when she moves. I can even see the stair stepping right now that I paused it. Look, why is she so low resolution?
8 manufacturers with their own characteristics and trademarks. There's Jacobs, with crit-friendly black powder weapons, the elemental expertise of Maliwan, Vladoff, who solve lower accuracy with more bullets, the toss to reload Tedior,
Oh, yeah.
or Torg with explosions.
I mean, who
We
doesn't
also
like
have
explosions?
3 new ones. The Order, with powerful charge and release blast,
I'm not a fan of
fully
those types of
auto
weapons.
and the reliable, easy-to-use Daedalus, which can use multiple ammo types.
But that's just the start. We've introduced an all-new licensed parts system. This allows for
sorry?
behaviors and abilities from multiple manufacturers to spawn in a single weapon. For instance, this flat-off assault rifle
What?
features a Torg mag, Hyperion shield, and a Maliwan elemental switch, meaning it shoots fast and explodes things. The higher
What?
the rarity, the more parts that can randomly spawn, creating
That's
wilder and
sick.
wilder loot.
Dude, they just keep figuring out how to make weapons even more ridiculous in this game series. Like, that was their biggest thing when Borderlands 1 came out, especially when Borderlands 2 came out. It was just how many different weapons you could get, how many different things could spawn. And now they're just adding different parts to the weapons that are already, you know, hundreds, if not thousands of variations already in the game. That's insane, dude.
And that's before even getting into alt-fire modes, underbarrels,
Dude,
and elemental
classic.
damage.
The possibilities
That's a lot.
are truly endless.
To support playing with your
That's
favorite
insane.
manufacturer, we've added enhancements.
Okay.
This new type of gear replaces artifacts and provides bonuses to specific manufacturers. Take my current enhancement. It adds a kill bonus to all guns with Daedalus parts, along with more reload
I'm not familiar
speed
with
and critical
artifacts. That's
damage.
probably
This
something
lets you
I can't
min-max
remember
your
if
build
that was
around
in-
your favorite manufacturer.
I don't think that was in
immediately
Borderlands 2. It
turning
might be in
just
Borderlands
okay guns
3.
Into amazing weapons.
Finally,
Unless
we've
that's
heard
brand
your
new to
feedback,
this.
and we've overhauled our drop rates and loot across the game. We've worked hard to make sure all our gear feels better than ever, while also making rarity matter again. This makes for our most satisfying loot chase ever.
Did rarity not matter
And at the
before?
top of everything are legendaries. These have
course.
always had unique effects that you won't find on any other piece of gear. But in Borderlands 3, they drop too often. This not only devalued
they?
legendaries, it made everything feel less valuable. In our new
See, now that's a good way to look at it, because that's what happened with Destiny 2. You're getting exotics all the time. And I went back and played Destiny 1 and I realized just how awesome it was when exotics were rare, because when you got one that you really wanted, it was awesome. It was an awesome feeling. And like I said, I never finished Borderlands 3. So now that I know that, it might not be as fun, I guess. But the bottom line is that they at least listened and said, all right, we're going to tone that down because they should matter. Legendaries, exotics, whatever you want to call them, that should matter, but it shouldn't be like constantly dropping, because then it just devalues it, as they said. And I wish Destiny would have done that, but you know, that Destiny 1's still running, so I guess I can just go back and play that.
system, not only do all guns feel great, but now legendaries will truly be special events. We've added the magic back to our loot chase, and we know you'll love grinding all that great gear on Kairos.
But let's get back to combat so I can show you my favorite thing, ordnance. This is the new gear slot for grenades and heavy weapons like rocket
Whoa.
launchers.
Whoa. So it's like a 5th weapon slot.
Instead of taking up a gun slot and ammo, Ordnance now has cooldown timers.
Sick.
No more saving the big guns for boss fights. Now you can blow stuff up as often as you want.
Well, I mean, as often as you want, given the cooldown timer. But where's the cooldown timer for it?
Before we go further, let's talk a little bit about action skills. Every Vault Hunter has a set of 3 unique action skills. These are class-defining abilities with devastating effects. Up until now, I'd been using Incarnate to deliver powerful phase blasts. But let's switch it up to Phase Familiar and pull out Trouble. As you can see, each action skill has its own branching skill tree, giving you more build freedom than ever before. On top of passive skills, you can further customize action skills with augments and capstones. These are socketed enhancements that add new behaviors and functions to your action skill.
Different builds completely change how combat plays out, resulting in near endless freedom to experiment. You can swap unlock augments or capstones on the fly, or completely respec your skill trees at hubs around Kairos.
This gives us a chance to talk about traits.
Okay, so you can't just respec your skill tree in the field, which I'm not really that much of a fan of that, not being able to do it in the field. I see why they do it, because it's like a gameplay balance thing where it kind of forces you to really think about your loadout before leaving to the open world. But like, I also don't understand what happened where these companies now have to say, don't worry, you can respec your character anytime you want, no extra fee. It's all because of the scummy little bastards who decided to try and nickel and dime us for that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, that doesn't work here, dude. And now it's just like a thing where companies have to make sure that we know, don't worry, you can respec at any moment. Either it be whenever you want, or in this case, you have to go back to like a hub to do it.
Each Vault Hunter has a unique passive ability called a trait. For Vex, her action skills attune to the element of her equipped weapon. So by swapping guns, I can change Trouble's damage from kinetic to shock, fire, or any other elemental type.
And also, you can pet the cat.
Dead end.
Now, imagine if like you had a weapon that can change elemental types all in one.
God, are those test tubes?
Yeah, they're showing some pretty decent weapons, but like the abilities are the coolest part here.
I'm down, but thankfully our fight for your life mechanic makes a return. Of course, I could have avoided it in the first place if I had just used my ref kit. This new piece of gear provides health and other buffs, like temporarily boosting my elemental damage, rate of fire, or movement speed.
I'm confused. Didn't he have like full health? How did he go down so easily?
Ask what's in the tube.
Oh, look at these guys. Are those crystals growing out of them?
Yep.
By the way, if you're looking to experience the story again or just grind for loot, we've added full mission and boss replay. That's
Nice.
right, no more save loading to run bosses. Now you can return to the arena and use Moxie's big encore machine to spawn another run.
But we'll talk more about it.
That's one thing I never actually got into even in the original Borderlands or Borderlands 2. I never got into the end game. I would just beat the story and that would be it. So yeah, I think it's about time I finally start getting to the end game of these games, because I've never gotten any of the crazy loot.
Game later. For now, let's jump ahead and show you something truly badass.
This boss, look at that boss design. That's
In
insane.
Borderlands 4, our bosses are bigger and better than ever. putting all your new skills, gear, and abilities to the ultimate test.
It's like a bullet hell.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Spoilers. That's enough of that for now. But we look forward to showing you much more this June at our first hands-on gameplay.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that was in June. That's the thing I was thinking about. I didn't know they were gonna do this.
And from everyone at Gearbox, thank you for joining us.
Was that the whole crew? Gearbox is, I mean, if that's the whole studio working on this game, that's a pretty small studio. September 12th, looks like we do have a release date. September 12th, man. Damn. There's a lot of great games coming out this year. And I think I said it in another video, a reaction video. I'm gonna be broke. I mean, I'm pretty good at not spending money on games because games, they're not going to go anywhere. They're still going to be here. But that's insane how many games are actually coming out this year. And it's going to be a really expensive year for a lot of people because there's a lot of Borderlands fans. So that looked awesome, man. September 12th. Another time that can't come soon enough, man. I'm super excited for Borderlands 4. It looked good. It looked good. So they're going to cover endgame stuff in June. I guess we'll be waiting for that, and I'll make another video on Borderlands 4. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for joining me, and please join me again in the next one. We're going to take a look at another trailer of a game that I may or may not be able to afford, and we'll see what we think. But until then, I'm Adam Wolf. This is Borderlands 4, and I'll see you guys later.